All right, what's up, guys? Thank you for checking out the Terrific Talk podcast. Fun one today with my man Steve. We break down all the big games this weekend in the NFL. We make our picks against the spread. I tell a story. You know my dog Kobe? He almost died this weekend. We'll get into that story. Steve's calling me from an airport. I think he's at LAX, and the entire time I'm trying to get him to talk about violence and terrorism. So that's a good time. And yeah, could be doing the podcast from a jail cell pretty soon. So we'll see how that turns out. Let's get it going.
Welcome to Terrific Talk. My name is Tom Anderson. Tom Anderson.
Back to him, back again, gone. Back, gone. Tom
Anderson.
Great cash, homie. Great cash, homie.
I feel ready to go another 9 innings.
Touchdown.
I feel ready to go another 9 innings.
Touchdown.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Terrific Talk Podcast. Welcome back, Terrific Talk Podcast.
Here comes the hoe.
I'm your host, Tom Anderson.
first, behind the bag. It gets to Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it. Back,
Terrific.
There he is. How's it going?
There we go. How you feeling?
You're sounding good. So I'm a little late calling because I have a recorder here, and I looked down and it said low battery. The thing just wasn't working. So I'm scrambling around the apartment looking for batteries. And
Double A or triple A? Lola and Kobe, they're fired up with no batteries.
we got a Kobe story coming up. I'll tell you in a second. But yeah, so the AAA batteries. So I'm like scrambling around. I find a TV remote that's got AAA. I drop one of the batteries that I need on the ground. It rolls under the bed. So I'm like, oh crap. So I'm on the ground. I'm reaching, trying to get this battery under the bed. I just destroyed a muscle, like seized up in my back. I just destroyed myself. It's bad.
I was waiting for that. When's the massage therapy session? Where are you heading?
It's a sad scene here in the Terrific Talk studios. It's not good.
Dude, doesn't getting old suck?
It's really not great at all.
Dude, something similar. So me and Aaron are running the other day. We ran down to the Rose Bowl. It's like 3 miles from our place. It's a 5K loop around, and then you run home. So it's about a 9-mile run. So it's pretty good run. We get down there, and Aaron's back just went crazy on her. She doesn't even same thing. She had no idea what happened. She was like, if there weren't people around here, I would be screaming bloody murder.
It's so bad though.
It's great. It's crazy. You get over 30, everything falls apart.
I mean, at least she hurt herself running. I hurt myself reaching for a battery under the bed.
True.
Not
Yeah,
good.
True. Not a moment that you really are going to be proud of. But hey, we're putting it out there for the pod because we have no shame.
No, speaking of no shame, so you heard Kobe and Lola barking before?
Yeah.
We're taping this on a Monday. Yesterday, Sunday, just a couple minutes before the Ravens-Chargers kickoff, we had a near-death Kobe incident.
Oh no!
Really
Did you run
bad.
out? Almost get hit by a car.
Nope. So we've discovered a bit of an ant problem in one of our bathrooms.
Oh boy.
So we got some ant traps, and Tori, by accident left the bathroom door open.
He went to eat the toxins.
Kobe went in there to eat the toxins. I'm upstairs. No shame. I was in the bathroom at the time.
Yeah, no shame, baby.
All I hear is just screaming downstairs.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And the second I heard her scream, I knew that it was exactly what happened. So, yeah,
Was he foaming at the mouth? What happened?
He wasn't foaming at the mouth. Tori got to him pretty quickly and got him away. We're kind of freaking out. Tori called an emergency vet, and they were like, yeah, you should call this toxins place. So she's doing that. I'm Googling how dangerous is this toxin for dogs, and Kobe's still alive. He's still with us. It was
still with us.
Kind of a false alarm. It's okay. Little disconcerting. Apparently, one of the toxins that they use is in toothpaste also.
Oh, brilliant!
So
that's one of those where you start digging in and you realize okay, what are we ingesting on a day-to-day basis that's actually killing us?
Scary. So yeah, Kobe almost died.
happy that Kobe made it. Kobe's like a cat, dude. He's got 9 lives. That one thing isn't gonna stop him.
100%. How's Lucy doing?
Lucy's good, man. She's since being back, from the East Coast, and when we were gone, no issues. We did actually take her to Huntington Beach this past weekend because Erin's parents and her niece were in town. They went and, obviously we talked about the Rose Bowl last week, so they stayed until Saturday. So we went to Huntington Beach, brought the dog. They have a dog beach there. And Lucy, while she loves the beach, loves playing with other dogs on the beach, petrified of the ocean.
Really?
And she is like she knows that I'm like a little devious because like I kind of walk down to the waterfront. I'm trying to like coax her into coming with me, and she just bolts the other way. She knows that if I get her close, we're going for a swim, and she just doesn't want any part of that.
That's like Solly.
Solly's running.
I try to get him in the ocean every summer. Never happens. Doesn't like the sand.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love the ocean. I love the sand. I love the beach. I mean, what's there not to love about it?
It's the best. Best place on earth.
Without a doubt.
So we teased this last week. I've told you, I've been binge watching like a madman. Tori and I have just been dominating. I've been watching so much. So
into 2019. Charging.
The terrific TV talk is happening right now. Let me talk about what I've been up to. So, have you seen Bodyguard? I think you mentioned you might have seen this.
You know what? It's Rob Stark. I've seen the preview. I never jumped into it. Worth a watch?
I would say it's worth a watch. Rob Stark's pretty good, but it kind of freaks me out. Rob Stark looks nothing like Rob Stark in this.
Yeah, that's bizarre. I only know him as one. I mean, he's typecast at this point. I only know him as one thing. So for him to not look like what I expect him to look like would kind of be a little unnerving.
He's the King of the North.
King of the North.
The King of the North. I would give it like a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Decent. Making a Murderer too. All right.
How good was that?
Pretty.
How infuriated. How mad are you right now just thinking about it?
Pretty good. So what do you think happened?
In terms of like updates, or in terms of what do I actually think happened with that murder?
What do you think happened with the murder?
There's zero chance that Stephen Avery did it. I think it was the nephew. I think it was Brandon Dassey's brother, and then I think the boyfriend helped. I think he helped him cover it up and pin it on Stephen Avery. I don't think that he meant to get Brandon Dassey tied up in it. I think that's why I feel like they kind of said that the brother hasn't even been in to see Brandon because I think he knows that he basically screwed him, and that guy's serving a life sentence for something that he did. I mean, technology, like men lie, women lie, numbers don't, right? Like technology pinpoints things. Like you can't fake that. The fact that her cell phone is pinged after she apparently disappeared off of his property 2 miles down or however far down the road, it's kind of like, all right, yeah, no, these things aren't fabricated. Like this is how that works, and you can't really kind of get around it. In my opinion, zero chance Stephen Avery did it. What about you?
Yeah, I don't know if I go zero chance. I give him. I'd say it's like 60-40 that he didn't do it.
You're still leaning towards the fact that he didn't do it.
I don't think he did it. What was it? I don't know what his motive would be to do that. I
know.
Still don't get that. It definitely does not look good for the nephew. Very suspicious character.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that I feel like they maybe touched on it like very briefly in the second part of it is the fact that he had like this $50+ million civil lawsuit out against the county or against the township or against the police force, whoever it is, and then all of a sudden, conveniently, so what? Like, why would a guy who is probably in line to win that suit and win that much money then go out and kill someone? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just too convenient, in my opinion.
It's so shady. How If he did not do it, he literally is the most unlucky person of all time.
Most unlucky person. Serving like how many years in jail for 2 murders that he didn't commit.
Insane. Absolutely insane.
That would be one of those where it's just like, all right, well, guess what, people? You just have to just go buy me an island and just leave me the F alone. Just let me be on some tropical paradise.
Probably should leave Wisconsin if he gets
Yeah,
out.
I think he's got to get out of there.
Probably a good, smart idea. I know you love the Avery home, though. You love the family.
Yeah, dude, I love the scrapyard. Those guys, they're just grinders, you know. Dude, have you? One other thing that's obviously getting crazy acclaim right now with like 45 million views in a week is Bird Box. Have you had time to check that out? Because Aaron and I did watch it when we had the family out here.
Pun intended. I did not see it.
Yeah, you did not see it. But
is it worth watching? Because it seems kind of annoying.
Yeah, I mean it's worth it. It's one of those like they're saying, oh, it's a horror. I was like not really scared ever of like what was going on. It was just like it was a cool concept. You're kind of like left at the end with kind of wanting to know what the hell was actually going on. No spoiler. Not that I'm even going to give a spoiler alert. You just kind of just wonder what was actually taking place because they don't really give you that side of things. It's almost like remember Inception when it ended. He's spinning the thimble and like it's either spoiler alert. It's like either fall or stay up. Like don't just break like they did. Like I just want to know actually what was going on.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how it is. Like they get somewhere and then it's like over and you're like, all right, well wait, what actually?
That's annoying.
Like, yeah, but I mean, it was good. It was thrilling, captivating, cool little side note. When shit's going down, they are able to. Well, Sandra Bullock is able to get into a house, and she's kind of like holed up with a bunch of people, and they're trying to just again figure out what's going on. And that house is actually in Monrovia, which is only a few miles away from where Aaron and I live. So
wow.
Aaron's mom and her niece went out to see the house.
Super fans.
Super fans. And, you know, there's people there like giving blindfolds away so that people can put the blindfolds on and like kind of like aimlessly walk in front of the house and get a photo. So pretty soon those blindfolds are going to be $10 a pop.
Yep.
Someone's going to make some coin off of that. But I think the other show that I actually don't religiously watch, but I've watched with Erin because she's like, you know, she's all in, is the show called The Fall. So it has Scully from X-Files, and then it also has the guy that plays 50 Shades of Grey. I don't know, I never saw those movies, but whoever the lead guy is.
Yeah. So
it's like and this is no spoiler, he's like a psycho killer, and she's the cop, and it kind of follows their two storylines in parallel. So I've caught a couple episodes of that, and it's pretty good, pretty captivating.
Netflix, man. The Fall, it's called. I got one for you. I told you last week I fell in love with this show. It's called The Night Manager.
Ooh, you haven't heard of this one.
Really good. So I think it was originally a Hulu show, but now it's on Amazon. Okay. And it's got Tom Hiddleston, Loki, you know, from Thor.
Loki.
And it's got Hugh Laurie, House.
Love them.
Good cast. And it's a lot of cool settings. It's like, so this guy's like a hotel manager, and he goes to avenge this woman's death, basically. And it's a little James Bondy, Mission Impossible-y. It's a really cool show.
I'm intrigued.
I would
sell job there.
I would give it a like an 8.5, 9 out of 10. Solid.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's strong.
Easy. One season so far. They're apparently in the works for a second season, so you can kind of jump in. Not too overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Big.
Yeah, one season's cake. That's like a weekend, maybe.
Yeah. Big fan of The Night Manager. Really good.
The Night Manager. Okay. I got that in the Rolodex in my brain.
Also, sneaky comeback this season. I'm probably the only one in the world who thinks this, but Ray Donovan.
Dude, so my whole family is into Ray Donovan, and Aaron and I never got into it.
It's good. It's good. It started. The first 2 seasons were like incredible, like really, really solid. Third season, I think, was just like a disaster. It was really slow and horrible. This last season, though, kind of coming back. It's super dark. It's very violent. It's like really, it's an intense, suspenseful show.
Okay.
But I'm in on Ray Donovan. We're back.
Yeah, we've had discussions about trying to jump into it, and we never have. So maybe that's just something we'll have to consider.
Last one that I'm back on, Friday Night Lights.
Dude, I've never seen that either. So many people get mad at me when I say that.
How have you not seen Friday Night Lights?
I don't know, dude. I have friends that have whatever the school is. Like, they have jerseys. My boy Ward, he just got a dog. He named his dog Riggins.
Shut up.
Yeah, I swear. I don't know how I've never seen that, but that's another one.
Oh, man.
So
Coach Eric Taylor.
I think, like, a lot of people have kind of said to me in the past, like, you haven't seen Friday Night Lights, whatever else you're watching right now, you should stop and watch that show. And that should be, like, your focus for the next whatever amount of time to get through it.
You got to just jump in.
All right.
This week, I know you're focused on football right now. I think now's a good time.
I'm locked in. I'm still locked in.
Last question. Have you convinced Erin to rewatch Game of Thrones yet?
No, dude. We had this discussion actually on Saturday night. She's like, "Well, you can watch Game of Thrones if you want, but you're gonna be doing that on your iPad in the spare bedroom." You know what I mean? I was like, "Okay, never mind."
Just gonna have to read the recap.
Yep. We're gonna have to watch each recap from each season, and I don't know. Maybe as we get closer, she'll get fired up.
Winterfell is yours, my Grace.
Winterfell, baby.
Nice sneak peek.
Don't you wish that you could just like live in that land for like a month, and like in that time frame?
I think I would live in Dorne, personally.
Yeah, Dorne.
I like the warm weather. It looks pretty nice, pretty friendly group of people.
We're talking about the beach earlier. You know, it's kind of fitting.
Exactly. You know, I feel like I'm living in Winterfell right now, honestly.
Yeah.
And I don't love it.
Yeah, dude. I'm going to Phoenix, and it's going to be 70 degrees tomorrow and Wednesday. So
that sucks.
I have shorts packed in my bag.
That's awful. So we've gone about 15 minutes already, and I haven't congratulated you.
Yeah, I've been waiting.
On another just ridiculous win. Nick Foles advancing again. You guys get past the Bears. Where'd you watch the game yesterday? How you feeling? What was the experience like?
So I watched just from our house, Pasadena. We had a couple of, a guy that Aaron works with came over and brought 2 of his friends. So the guy that actually watched Lucy while we were gone for Christmas came over. They had a nice little reunion. Lucy was all fired up, wiggling her butt, going crazy. But then we got in, they came maybe like a quarter in. So I think it was 3-3 at that point, and then Foles throws the pick. They get then we had the crazy play at the end of the first half where like what do you do with the fumble?
That was ridiculous.
Crazy. But so we go in there down 6-3 and at that point I think actually what I said was this is one of those games that makes me nervous because we've been dominating the whole game, but we still are down 6-3.
Yep.
So I wasn't feeling great. We came down and got that score, up 10-6, and then we kind of just like stalled out a bunch.
And then you got the Solly text.
And then we got the Solly text. Easy. It's over. And then the jinx was in. So I felt really good with how our defense played. I was not scared of the Bears' offense, so I'm not surprised that our defense played as well as it did. Trubisky did make some good throws. In looking back on the highlights, some better throws than I thought at the moment. But again, he's just too inconsistent, and that was I feel like I said, looking at the matchup, like yes, their defense is good, but I think that our defense is a better match against their offense than their defense being better than our offense, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, you called that 100%. I was wrong. I thought that they were going to be able to move the ball a little bit on you. Your secondary actually held up pretty well yesterday.
They stepped up. Yeah, it's a lot of guys that are no-namers that are playing with a chip on their shoulder. It's never a bad thing. We weather the storm. We come down. We get the TD. And then it's just kind of like, all right, let's survive 50 seconds. So, of course, Tariq Cohen gets the massive return.
Of course.
And I'm like, oh,
That was
great.
bad.
They have to go 20 yards to be in field goal range. But, for once in my cheering, I mean, I've seen it happen, but never for my team. For once, I see an icing of a kicker pay off for the Eagles. So, it appeared that Cody Parkey missed it. Then, obviously, the more people watch the replays, they realize that Hester got his hand on it.
I don't think anybody realizes that it was tipped.
It was tipped. And I mean, it's funny because I can remember when it was in the air, thinking, wow, this, the spin of the ball seems just a little off. Again, not thinking that it got tipped at the line. But the other thing is, when I saw it hit the post, I just went nuts. I didn't even realize that it bounced down and double doinked off the crossbar. So, after seeing it the third time, I then was just like, oh, wait a second. There was a crossbar hit, too, that kicked it. Because I just saw it hit the post.
Right. I
kind of, screamed. Then I looked, and the ball was, squibbling around in the end zone. So I was like, all right, it didn't go in. Talk about a favorable bounce. But, we're still alive. The Bears and the Saints are two totally different teams. So, I don't think that the Eagles now are going to only put up 16 points. I mean, I think Nick Foles made some boneheaded plays in the first half. He did what he needed to do to get us a win, but I think I'm not one of those. I love Nick Foles. Don't get me wrong, and won a Super Bowl, but I'm not one of those guys that's like Nick Foles. We should trade Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is still, in my opinion, our franchise and should be for the foreseeable future. I'm happy that we have the backup that we have in Nick Foles. But, the one thing I noticed against a Bears dynamic front is, when Nick Foles can't move and scramble to make plays. I mean, he makes great throws, but there are a lot of instances where I feel like Wentz would have gotten out of the pocket and made something happen, and it would have probably opened up our run game because we had zero run game yesterday. I mean, it just didn't exist.
No. And it's going to be tough to run against New Orleans, I think.
Very tough. Yeah, very tough. But I was confused that Josh Adams, our rookie running back, only had one carry for 2 yards, where, Wendell Smallwood basically caused the first interception. Well, it was thrown behind him, so I don't want to put it totally on him. And then he almost fumbled another one, maybe he almost fumbled a third. It was just, he was getting a lot of love, whereas Josh Adams has been pretty consistent all year with hanging on the football and getting good chunk plays. But, whatever. A win's a win. I guess it's good to be critical of the team after you win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're still playing and you're still surviving. But, this weekend's going to be a little bit different.
You don't sound very confident right now. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, one thing I'll say, and I said it to Aaron afterwards, I was like, okay, yes, we survived that game, but, we're not only going to put up 16 points next week. We're not going to have a performance like that again. I think last year, we beat I forget what the final score of the Falcons game was. I feel like it was
15-10 or something.
15-10, 17-12, I was going to say. And then the next week we come out and put up 35 against the Vikings, who are supposed to have the best defense remaining in the playoffs. So, we can get hot. I'm happy that we're still alive, but, we won a Super Bowl last year. I'm not content with one win in the playoffs,
All right, take it easy.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby.
So, Steve, you're heading to Phoenix. You obviously get it. Arizona, incredible place. Well, this February, you can follow your favorite baseball teams to Arizona for Cactus League Spring Training. You get amazing weather, amazing landscapes, exciting outdoor adventure, incredible food. Arizona is the perfect home base for baseball fans. They've got 10 stadiums, 15 MLB teams, 75-degree temperatures, and you can't beat it. All 10 stadiums are in Greater Phoenix within 50 miles. You get to meet players. You can get autographs before games. They've got awesome restaurants and bars nearby, including tons of craft breweries like Four Peaks, Angel's Trumpet Ale House, Goldwater Brewing Company. Great live music. They've got hiking, biking, jeep tours, hot air balloons, skydiving, jet skiing, or just taking a sunset. No matter what you love to do, Arizona's got you covered. And of course, you got the bucket list like the Grand Canyon. You can go check that out. It's family friendly. Arizona has tons of stuff for kids to do and see, like wildlife parks, science museums, aquariums. So hey, go plan your spring training getaway now at visitarizona.com/springtraining. Visit arizona.com/springtraining. Not a bad idea this February, especially if you're like me here in New Jersey. I'm ready for a getaway. I need some nice weather, so go check it out. All right, so we'll get to the games this weekend in a minute. First, I want to rank the quarterbacks that are left playing this weekend. I want to know, who do you trust the most? You got 8 guys here. Who's number 1?
It's got to be Brady.
Really?
Yeah, it's the guys. He's the GOAT, dude. I know that he's lost to both of our teams in the Super Bowl, but how many? He's been to like eight of the last 10. Like something. What's his run right now? Like something insane. He's been to 8 straight AFC Championship games and like 6 of 8 Super Bowls or something wild like that. I mean, it's just guy knows how to win. I know that his cast of characters is a little banged up, but they just got an extra week to rest. So I think that they'll be coming in feeling pretty good. I'll give you my top 3, then you give me your top 3.
Yep.
Number 2, I've got Breeze. Again, Super Bowl champ. Probably most high between them and the Chiefs. Obviously, the Rams could be in there too. Most high octane offense. One of in remaining, and he doesn't make mistakes, man. That's the one thing with Drew Brees that I've noticed playing him in the playoffs and the regular season over the last couple of years. He's very sound in his decision making, and he doesn't put his defense in a bad position because of poor decisions. So I had to say number 2 for him, and then number 3, I'm going to go with our MVP, baby, the TD monster.
There you go,
guys slinging it. I'm happy that if the Eagles were to play him, like it wouldn't have to be in the divisional round or the conference championship round. I'm happy that it would have to be in the Super Bowl with everything on the line. But those are my 3. What about you? Those are top 3. Where are you thinking?
I will go with Drew Brees in the number 1 spot.
Okay.
Love his weapons. Love him at home, playing in a dome for the rest of the playoffs. Love that. Number 2, I think I'm going to roll with Andrew Luck.
Ooh.
Yeah. Playing some good ball right now. And specifically this weekend, going up against that Kansas City Chiefs defense, that it's been terrible all season long. Luck's feeling good. The offensive line, maybe the best offensive line left in these playoffs. I feel like Luck can keep it going. I do.
So you think the Colts offensive line is better than the Eagles offensive line at this point?
Better than the Eagles? Yeah, I do. Sorry.
Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep. Nobody's touching Luck.
Yeah, it's true.
Nobody's touching him.
Did you hear that? Well, there was a stat this morning. I was listening to the radio, and Stephen A. put it out. The Eagles, 3 of the last 4 weeks, have played Aaron Donald, J.J. Watt, Khalil Mack, and they have given up 0 sacks to those 3 players. Just saying.
It's pretty good. How's your running game?
Yeah, I mean, it's not great, but we're still alive.
Now, your offensive line's been great, and that's been huge, I think, for you guys on 3rd down. You guys have been solid on 3rd down in the last month.
We have been. Yeah, we have been. So, sorry to digress off the topic, but yeah, Luck being 2, I could see it.
And then I got the TD monster at 3.
Number 3, yeah. I've got Luck at 4, so not too far off. I definitely think he's upper echelon of the crew.
That's where I got Brady at 4.
Okay, so there's our flip, and then I've got Foles at 5. I've got Rivers at 6. I've got Jared Goff at 7, and I've got Dak at 8. I think Dak is definitely the worst of the bunch.
Yeah.
Jared Goff, I know that he's dynamic. He just wasn't. When we played them, I was not impressed by him. So that's just like a 1 sample size, and I haven't seen him play a ton.
He hasn't been good for a while now.
Yeah, he's unimpressive to me. I think Rivers is. He's an all-timer. He's probably a Hall of Famer. I just think the people that he has to go up against, the fact that he's got to go into New England to play, that's more where he's number 5 for me, or number 6 for me. Sorry, but and obviously got to give Foles a little love after being the Super Bowl MVP. I don't want to be the homer and put him at number 1. I am a realist, but he's down a score in the 4th quarter 5 minutes to go. I have confidence in it if he has the ball in his hand.
Over Phil Rivers.
Yeah, dude, I do. I mean,
how crazy is that?
I know. It is kind of crazy. because Rivers is a freaking gunslinger to his core. You know, I just think that everything right now with that Philly offense, you know, this quote unquote magic that they have, I just think that, you know, obviously in the moment I'm like, oh my God, we're not going to do it. Oh my God, we're not going to do it. But he just does it time and time again.
Making his case for greatest of all time, like LeBron.
Like LeBron, God.
The GOAT.
Yeah, no, it's funny. I will say, like, there's so much Philly talk of, like I said, get Wentz out of here, and I'm just like, please stop. Like,
send him to the Giants.
He's great.
Make a move.
Yeah, of course. It's one of those, like, the thing that I would laugh about is how many teams would give up, and what those teams would give up to get Wentz. Like, at this point, aside from the TD Monster, aside from Luck, aside from probably the Seahawks and Russell Wilson, I'm trying to think. Like,
Jameis.
Yeah, but aside from those three, like, don't you think every single team in the league would just be like, yep, give me Wentz. I'll go all in on him. Because Brady's getting old. Breeze is getting old.
The changing of the guard is coming.
Who else would even, like, be in consideration there? It's so, you know, again, for Philly to be like, yeah, let's leave this, let's drop this 23, 24-year-old dude for this 30-year-old. I'm like, oh, God, here we go. But anyway, it's a good crop of QBs that we have left in the final. Some fun, dynamic, athletic players, some just gunslingers, and then, you know, some of the best decision makers between Brady and Breeze that probably have played the game. So,
all right, let's make some early picks. A little preview here. The first game Saturday, it's going to be the Colts in Kansas City. Chiefs favored by 5.5. I'm leaning. Tell me, I might be going a little Colts happy now. I'm leaning towards the Colts here, taking the points.
I mean, I think with the points, I can't disagree with you there. And I'm walking towards my gate, so if I cut out, just call me back. But I think with 5.5, the Colts getting 5.5, I think it'll be a tight game. You know, the thing about Andrew Luck is he doesn't quit, man. Like, they were down, whatever they were down to a couple years back in Indy, and he came charging back and won the game. Like, you know, this Chiefs offense is crazy dynamic, but their defense has always been the thing that we have questioned all year. And dude, Luck has that. He has that pop back. He has that action back in his arm. He threw a fastball to Eric Ebron that just came out like an Aaron Rodgers laser. And I was like,
yeah.
He's back.
Houston, by the way, was just pathetic in that game.
Oh, God.
I don't know how their offense was that bad. That was crazy. I mean, that was kind of the story of the first round. Just these young, kind of mobile quarterbacks. Besides Dak really not having good games at all this weekend.
Yeah.
All overwhelmed. And Deshaun was one. I was surprised.
Yeah, Deshaun, Lamar. I mean, Lamar actually obviously made a push at the end of that game, but
he was terrible, yeah.
He just 40 yards in the fourth quarter passing. Like, God.
Insane.
Yeah, I mean, Houston, that was a little bit of a letdown. You know, but I think, like, now that those games have played out, I think we've got the 8 best. You know, we were Houston fans early. Well, not early, probably the third quarter of the season. But the Colts came on strong. Like, they went 9-1 down the stretch.
Yep.
Like, they were 1-5. They were 1-5, and they ended up 9-1 the last 10 games. So, I mean, I think that this is a matchup. This will be a fun matchup. Over under is 57, highest of the 4.
Yeah, it's going to be gunslinging. I mean, we got the TD
Monster.
shootout. Don't forget about the TD Monster. How do you think? Yeah. How do you think Andy Reid's going to hold up in this? Your boy.
Andy Reid's my boy. He'll be good. I know it's playoffs, but he coming off a bye always. He's strong.
I just think it's too many points for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think 5. This is the playoffs, man. This is one and done. You know, like, they're not going to be playing this game like they play in the regular season, where they're just going to be bombing points. Like, they're going to want to control clock. I know how Andy Reid operates. He's going to want to, you know, probably minimize crazy exotic plays so that he just doesn't put Patrick Mahomes in a bad position. It'll stay tight, but you know, I think that the Colts will be fighting to the bitter end. So that's one of those where even if they're down 10, they could get a late score, try the onside kick, one of those type of situations. So I mean, that's where I think taking the Colts with 5+ points is not a bad move.
Saturday,
I think Chiefs win it.
but I can see the Colts actually winning. Saturday night, Cowboys at the Rams. Rams are at home here, favored by 7. Too many points? What do you think?
No, I mean, I don't think so. I know I've said this so many times. Cowboys are still around. I just don't think they're a very good team. I mean, they got some homer calls there this past Saturday night, playing against Seattle. So they should be thanking the refs for some of their success. I just don't think that they're going to see that in LA. I think that this, athletic defensive front, similar to what the Eagles have, we neutralized Zeke. I think that they have enough up front. They feel that I don't think we're going to be seeing Zeke get 200 total yards of offense. And I just think that Todd Gurley rested, healthy, hopefully. I like him in this matchup. But I mean, I know that Jalen Smith and Van Der Esch are silly, but Todd Gurley's a beast. So I like him a lot more in this matchup. And I could see this being a 10-point game, a 10-point win for the Rams.
Wow. How do you feel about the Zeke feed me celebration kind of after every first down? Do you like that? He's doing the double. He's doing the double feed me now.
Dude. I know, dude. It's like, okay, that's what you're expected to do. Like, why are you celebrating something that you're expected to do? You know what I mean?
Next time I see you, all I'm doing is the double feed me.
Yeah. Oh my God! What? So like a little kid that's like not, a 1-year-old or 2-year-old, when they take a dump in their diaper, they're supposed to say, "Feed me, boy, feed me." I did what I was supposed to do. Like,
yep. You're such a hater.
I did. I can't stand it.
Dallas 3-5 on the road also this year.
No, and again, man, like too much inconsistent play out of Dak Prescott. I mean, yes, he made a great play on that 3rd and 14. To score that touchdown, to put him up, whatever it was, 10. I just don't think happening against the Rams defense. You know what I mean? Dude, by the way, speaking of, did you see you saw the video. Did you send the video as well of the guy that bet on Dallas, the cover?
Yeah.
That was the greatest thing ever.
This guy's just screaming at the top of his lungs.
Yeah, you said it. You sent it, and as the Creighton.
It's phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
So Steve likes the Rams. Good friend of the pod. Good friend of the pod. James Berger is one of my boys. He's a big Rams fan, and he's been telling me that the defense is a lot better since Aqib Talib came back. It's kind of shored things up a little bit. For whatever reason, Aaron Donald is obviously incredible. Defensive Player of the Year again. He's a beast, just unstoppable. They have been susceptible to the run. I don't know why. They've given up 5 yards a carry. Really, really strange. I kind of want to take the points here with Dallas. As weird as that sounds.
Yeah.
The Rams haven't been playing as well lately. I don't know. I think this could be closer than 7 points. And I'm not sure Gurley's 100% healthy either.
That's fair. I mean, at this point he's had a month off.
Yeah. I just feel like I would not be totally surprised if the Rams come out flat again. To start, which is crazy. They're at home. They went through this last year. I totally see them coming out flat again. But they should take care of business.
It's Monday. I mean, I could probably be swayed. I just coming off the weekend and just how annoying it was to watch that Dallas game. I'm just no, I just want them to get mauled. So that's part of my bias kicking in there. But
feed me.
I don't know. I just I know I said it last week, the coaching matchup, Pete Carroll versus Jason Garrett. I don't know, something about Sean McVay that I like. I just think that he's going to come in with a game plan that's going to keep Dallas's defense just scrambling,
Yep. No, that's a huge advantage for the Rams, I think. Let's move on to Sunday here. We've got the Chargers at the Patriots. Patriots at home here, favored by 4.5. I like to look at the weather forecast.
Yep.
Speaking of Winterfell, winter's coming. We got some snow in the forecast here for New England.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. This is a 1:00 game. Right now at Foxborough, 3 to 5 inches of snow expected. So that could be an interesting factor here with your perfect weather Chargers having to come out east again and play in the 1 o'clock time slot. Just getting screwed every single week.
Yeah.
Chargers dominated the Ravens yesterday. The defense was phenomenal. Who do you like here? I know you seem to like old reliable Mr. Brady.
Yeah, I like old reliable here, especially having to make a second trip across the country early game. I looked and it was 4, so it must have gone up or a different spot as a 4.5. I kind of looked at that at first and was kind of like, well, that seems. I mean, I guess the Pats haven't been like super dominant this year, but like in years past, to me, that would have been like almost a disrespectful line to the Pats. I guess they are banged up and they haven't been as consistent as usual. But I mean, the old Pats. Me looking at this is a touchdown win for them. But now that I'm thinking about it, like maybe it's a field goal. So maybe it is Chargers getting 4.5 is a good play. I'm kind of like selling myself on something different that I was going to say on the fly, but I don't know. What do you think?
I like the. I'm heavy on the underdogs again. We saw in the wild card round the last 2 years, the underdogs have been playing really well. Home teams really have not been showing up at all, which I think is really weird. Patriots, we know the history. They're always dominant at Foxborough. I get it. But I think the Chargers are hot coming in here. Uh-oh. There's a big announcement on the plane there.
Oh, yeah, no, we're about the board.
I kind of want to make you start talking about making a murderer and, like, violence again.
You're going to look at me like, what the hell?
Who are you talking to? Stephen Avery's innocent. Don't let this guy on the plane. But I like the Chargers in this one, getting the points. I don't think the Pats are the normal Pats that we know and love.
Yeah.
They just have not been clicking at all this year.
Yeah.
I'm nervous about New England. They're lucky to have a home game here. They've had some really weird losses. I'm going to take the Chargers, actually, in the upset here, with the points. With the points. I think the Chargers can win this game outright, no problem. But, I wouldn't be shocked if the Pats ended up winning, but I think only by like a field goal. I think the Chargers can at least cover for sure.
Yeah, I think they'll cover. I mean, this is one though that goes back to like kicking, especially in the adverse elements. I trust Stephen Gostkowski way more than I do Badgley or whatever that guy in the Chargers kicker's name is. Like, this is a game that comes down to that. And
you reminded me of the importance of kickers, and with Janikowski going out for Seattle in that game, that obviously changed the whole makeup of that. How do teams not carry 2 kickers?
It's just mind-boggling. Like let's carry like what 5 running backs, but only 1 kicker. Like,
kickers are so important in these games.
They're so vital. Yeah, they're so vital.
And everyone tries to act all macho, like, oh, the kicker is a stupid kicker or whatever. They're so important in these games. Like,
how many games a year do kickers decide?
Tons.
You know what I mean?
Carry a second kicker, or at least have your punter be able to kick field goals, like chip shots.
Chip shots. Did you see that guy at halftime practicing kicks? The Seattle punter.
Disaster zone. He's doing drop kicks. How bad was that onside kick, by the way?
Oh my God.
Good God.
Probably the worst one in NFL history.
Yeah, it's right up there. Last game, let's get into it. Your team, the Eagles. The last line I saw in New Orleans, Saints are favored by 9 points.
Oof. Yeah, I saw 8.
And we remember they played in Week 11. You remember that one well. Saints won 48-7. They ran up the score a little bit.
Yeah.
Zach Ertz called it one of the most embarrassing games he's ever played in. That was Carson Wentz, so that's not Nick Foles. Saints were also, that was like their peak. They were playing really, really well then.
Mm-hmm. And then they came crashing down like 2 weeks later when they only scored 10 against the Cowboys.
Yeah, and really since then, their offense has not been lighting it up. I know we both trust Drew Brees to play really well, but their offense, for whatever reason, has not been killing it.
Yeah.
What do you think here in this game?
With 9, I like us with 9 points to keep it close. I think it'll be a similar game plan where it's fairly conservative play calls in an attempt to control the clock. And again, I don't see us putting up 16 points. Like I think we'll get upper 20s, low 30s, and I don't see us allowing an offensive outburst of 40-plus points again. So that's where again, with points, I think we take it. I mean, I'll be real. Yeah, I want the Eagles to win. Do I? They shouldn't win. It's a 1 versus a 6. I mean, obviously, that's why they play the game any given Sunday. But I think we win with the points. I think it's one of those where we maybe lose at the end, but I'll hold out hope, man.
All right. Saints, I mentioned it earlier, very good against the run. You guys have been struggling with the run. I want to know, you mentioned how good that offensive line has been. Can they hold up against Cam Jordan and make Nick Foles uncomfortable? You think Foles he'll be comfortable back there? We'll see some less mistakes out of him.
Yeah, I think he'll be comfortable. I mean, think about the 3 I just named, Khalil Mack, J.J. Watt, Aaron Donald. You would think, oh my God, those 2 are going to give Nick Foles fits. Neither one of them got a sack. I know Cam Jordan is a beast as well, but I think Jason Peters is healthy, which is huge. Wayne Johnson is healthy, which is huge. So, I guess I don't know. Off the top of my head, what end he comes off of, but, Jason Kelsey just leading the boys in the middle. I think we'll continue to give Nick Foles time. I think Nick Foles maybe is going to have to look to potentially make a play with his legs this game. Something that he didn't consider trying to do at all last week. But, again, I just think the offensive play calling is going to be pretty chill, pretty conservative. Try to dominate clock, try to continue to get first downs, keep the ball out of Drew Brees' hands. And that could, again, that'll help keep it close at least.
Are you on the plane yet?
About to walk down the jetway.
So there's like a woman next to you who keeps coughing. I hope she sits right next to you.
You're trying to have me be ill right before so I can't enjoy watching the game.
So who do you think murdered Teresa Hallback?
I plead the 5th there.
Oh, man. So this show Bodyguard that I love, first scene, he stops a terror attack. What do you think of that?
I mean, just a good patriot, man. He's just doing his thing to keep everyone safe. There's nothing wrong with that.
You're going to step up.
I'm going to be so vague, it's going to be great.
A lot of violence in The Night Manager. You like that.
Love it.
What other violent shows have I mentioned to you?
To just totally get myself out of jail here. Do you think with the points that the Eagles keep it close, or do you like the Saints? You like how I did that?
I'm taking the points. I'm gonna stick with the underdogs here. I like the Eagles a lot in a tease.
Yeah.
If we can get them up to plus 19, I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah, plus 19, maybe bring that.
I also like the Cowboys in a tease, plus 17.
Yes.
I kind of like all these teams in a tease. Maybe even the Colts plus 15.5.
Dude, a 14 tease, why not?
I like it all. So
I mean, you can always do one and then do a second one that's maybe a little more conservative. But, hey, go big or go home.
I think that's the play. I think this is a very teasable weekend with all these big lines. It should be fun. I'm trying to think of another violent show.
Game of Thrones?
Yeah, what was your favorite?
We talked about that a little bit earlier.
What was your favorite death in Game of Thrones, and describe it?
Well, my favorite in terms of one I just thoroughly enjoyed the most, or just favorite how it played out in the show?
Yeah, you enjoyed the most.
How it played out? Yeah, I'll do that second. The first one is how they played it out was definitely the ice dragon. Daenerys is one dragon, and then coming back alive as the spewer of ice.
Yeah.
I think Joffrey's is the best. He's the best one to be aired on TV. Like, that was brilliant.
That was really good.
He's such a little weasel.
A lot of spoilers right now by you.
I know. Spoiler alert.
Sorry, Game of Thrones fans.
Sorry, everyone. Catch up. This is the last season. You had 5 years to figure that one out.
So now I'm hearing a woman near you yelling. What's going on?
It's chaos here. It's just I'm in the jetway, so everything's echoing very well.
Uh-oh.
Heading right into the speaker on my headphones.
So where are you flying out to? Phoenix?
Phoenix, baby. I'll be in Phoenix until Wednesday night. Gonna enjoy some 70-degree temps. It'll be chilly though in the morning, like 40s in the morning, but the sun will come up. It'll be golfing weather, dude.
Oh,
Wish I had my clubs. Can you imagine that?
That would be nice.
Could you imagine that I'm in golfing weather tomorrow? How jealous does that make you?
I'm sure I'll be in golfing weather tomorrow.
Yeah. With your parka and hat and gloves.
Yep.
You'll be like the brother in A Christmas Story trying to hit the links.
Just living the dream. All right, before we go, any shout-outs you want to give?
I do. Well, I gave my boy Corey a shout out last week. I also got to give my boy Dan Brown a shout out. When I watched that Eagles Texans game, he's a kid I ran track with in high school. He gave me a shout out for the pod. He said he's listened to a couple episodes. He's like, "You haven't changed a bit." I said, "Nope. What you see is what you get, baby."
There you go.
You know, so it's always good to hear people listening and enjoying it. You know.
I want to give a quick shout out to my boy Pete Keeling, big time Milwaukee Bucks fan. So we're gonna have to talk some Bucks soon on this podcast. But he's been tuning in every week. We definitely appreciate him. And I'll even give a little love to that guy at Beating Fantasy Football, Jordan Thrillkill. He's been checking it out every week. So Jordan, thank you for listening.
Appreciate the consistency, fans. We'll keep doing our thing.
All right, real quick before I let you go. I haven't seen Jack Ryan. What's the plot for that?
God, I'm out of here.
All right.
All right, bro.
I'll talk to you later, and we can talk about some Jimmy Butler drama because that's going well.
It never ends, dude. It never ends.
This woman is furious right now.
So mad at me.
What is happening?
I don't know. I just walked in. I just walked on the flight, so now the speaker over top is going crazy.
Do you have any in-flight entertainment?
Dude, I downloaded The Haunting on Hill House on Netflix on my iPad, so I'll be watching that.
I heard that's good.
I know, Erin. I've talked about Erin, the fact that she doesn't rewatch shows. This is a show that she actually started rewatching. So, I mean, it's got to be something.
Did she watch this by herself?
She did, dude, solo.
That's kind of...
It's kind of
Yikes. She threw the back out and then had to watch some horror movies. That's intense.
A whole other can of worms that we could open up for that conversation.
We'll leave it on that note. Nets 12-3 out of their last 15. 7 seed.
7 seed.
We'll see. You need to work your way up to a 2 seed, buddy.
Sixers Nets.
We'll see.
Course.
First round. All right, everybody. Thank you for checking out the pod. Go subscribe on Terrific Talk, Spotify. Give us a like. Follow me on Terrific Talk Tom on Instagram and Twitter. Check out Steve's Facebook page. Still no Instagram. Just unbelievable right now.
Holding out, dude.
Still holding out. And we'll talk to you later.
Hey, everyone.
Enjoy the game.
BDN and TTP. Let's go.
All day. Kobe. Still alive. Fuck you, Ants.
Yeah.